Freddie Konyango comes off his line to send it off the field of play. It's going to be a throw-in, and it's going to be for the Tusker side. He's been in goal for so long for Gor Mahia. I'm talking about Freddie Konyango, and I think this will be the first time that you're really seeing him being substituted. And this time round, probably in anticipation of the post-match penalties, with just about 2 minutes of regular time remaining in this one. Anthony Akumu as well will not be playing in Gor Mahia's continental match. And then it is sent forward by Donald Masoti. Danny Serenkuma seems to have taken matters in his own hands. He doesn't get the ball to Lavatsa. This one is headed back to the goalkeeper, who decides to send it back into play. Akumu in the midfield for Gor Mahia with a good through ball to Kiongera. Oh, he's in a little bit of a tight situation, tries to weave himself out of it and loses possession. Taken easily off his feet by Khalid Aucho. And most of the elbow down on the ground. Here is a substitution now. Ivo Mapunda, the Tanzanian international, is coming into the field of play. And incidentally getting a good applause, but Freddie Konyango gets an even bigger applause from the fans here. They know that he's done well for the club. They're just not certain about the penalty shootout, Jacob.
Well, you're right, Bernard, and the goalkeeper is the captain on the side. He was elected actually this week because Gor Mahia has a democratic way of electing a captain. The players gave him 68%. I was just thinking if it was in the Kenyan election, he would be the president.
Well, I don't know if the rule there is 60 plus 1. Nevertheless, he's handed over the captaincy to Moslo Diambo. He gets a good applause from the fans here. Freddie Konyango. And Ivo Mapunda then will be going to goal. The Tanzanian international has so much experience, and I think it's just being preferred because of the fact that it might be heading to a penalty shootout if it ends at 0-0 in the next 2 minutes. So again, it's one of the cup finals where 2 goalkeepers, the substitute goalkeepers, have had to come into play. Now the Tusker goalkeeper came in very early in the game. Gor Mahia's goalkeeper comes very late in the game. Danny Serenkuma, well, will not be jumping for that one. Chris Wekesa is playing so far in front. Shikakoti then sends it back into the midfield. Jesse Were, well, doesn't get who he intended to. Solomon Natsio then pushes it onto the right side. Kevin and loses possession as Moslo Diambo then sends it back to the forward. Because out of the field of play, it's going to be a goal kick. It's going to be for Tusker FC. So history does repeat itself, doesn't it? Or we might have to wait for another 1 minute, Jacob, to say that.
Well, I think we'll have to wait, and it's very unique here because both teams have substituted both keepers, but for different reasons. Of course, red card on Boniface Oluoch on the Tusker side, and Ivo Mapunda being preferred for the penalties.
Oh, Tusker FC with Jesse Were on the ball at the moment, looking for a way of ending it without going into penalties. I think that's a whistle for the 90 minutes end. And Zdravko Lukacic not happy at all. We've seen him in that situation very many times. Robert Matano, I think he's a little bit on end. You know, his nerves are on the end at the moment, Jacob.
Well, I think of the 2 coaches, he will be more satisfied knowing that he played a whole 86 minutes plus with 10 players. Longarusic not happy knowing that he had he had 11 players against 10 and he didn't take advantage of that extra player.
Well, I think it was even forgotten that Tusker FC actually just had 1 player less, and we've seen that in the character of Tusker FC. They often say that if you are 1 player less, you just need to play 10% more, and you will cover up for the absence of that 1 player. And I think Tusker FC have done it pretty well. It's going to penalties now. Ivan Mapunda is having a very good laugh with Mr. Sylvester Kirwa. The last time he was in action, there was so much about his white towel in the net, and I think he's asking the referee whether he can use his white towel in the net there, Jacob.
Well, I think that is what they were discussing. It will be very interesting to see, because this towel became a subject of debate in the last game, and we are yet to see if Kirwa will allow Mapunda to go with his towel in that goal.
Well, we'll see whether he's putting it in the net, because that's where he would like to put it. But the last time when they played the Leopards, there was a lot of talk about that, and a couple of players spent a lot of energy trying to remove it from the area. Every time he wiped his face and put it back, they would go and remove it from there. Well, seemingly in the belief that that is what was stopping them from scoring. Now, needless to say, the scoring didn't come as soon as it was expected. But I think now it will be the toss of trying to find out which side will start to take the penalties, and also to choose the side that they will take it from. Sylvester Kirwa, the center referee, that's the side that will be doing it from. Then the captains now then will have to choose who is starting. So we'll wait to see also who's taking the penalties for the two sides. And for the second time in 2 years, the winner of the SuperSport DSTV Cup has to be decided on penalty shootout. And incidentally, it is still Tusker and Gor Mahia that have to go for those penalty shootouts. But today's game, I think you couldn't quite say, Jacob, that there was anything outstanding about it.
Well, I think we have seen a game that has denied us goals, and a lot of missed chances from both sides. But I would say that the one obvious chance that was clear was Jesse Were versus Jeremy Onyango, and Were could not put that ball in the net.
Dancer in Kuma and Bozzo Diabo, I'm just wondering exactly what they could be discussing at this moment, unless it's a review of the match. You couldn't quite talk about how to take the penalties, could you, as well? Well,
I think he's picking the players that are going to kick the penalties, and it looks like Seronkumba already knows who will be the kickers here. And Longarusik looks like he's just recording the players that Seronkumba has confidence in.
So he might have asked their opinion, and I think he must have said Nasio as well. Well, I could just let you in on that, Jacob.
Well, I think the coach sometimes they actually are trained for the penalties, but at the end of the game, you also need to be reassured that the players have the confidence to take it. In case a player chickens out of that, then you say it's okay. But I think Seronkuma is just confirming who have the guts to go for those penalties.
And Jojo Pio on the other side, I think, is just confirming that he's going to be in goal for the Tusker FC side, and that he will try to stop everything that is coming in that direction. No indication as yet as to who might be taking the penalties on the Tusker FC side. Jacob, you probably know them better. Who do you think will be fighting to take this trophy home from that penalty position on the Tusker FC side?
Well, my hunch would be that Shiko Koti might be one of the players that takes the captain. Of course, takes the penalties, the captain on the side. Then David Ochieng, popularly known as Cheche, would be another player. My bet would be taking the penalties. Well, I wouldn't rule out the Ugandan import of Robert Omoneku, who has had a very good game. But the last two players, well, is like a toss of a coin, as I said.
You know them very well, of course, so I'll take your word for it. If you were the coach, you probably would have been doing the same. And I think it's a very, very, very tense moment for all players on the field. It's 5 penalties to decide who takes the SuperSport DSTV Cup 2013. The traditional curtain raiser season opener for the Tusker Premier League that comes with a 750,000 shillings prize money for the winner, 500,000 Kenyan shillings prize money for the second team. I think that's good money to start the season with, given the fact that there was prize money as well at the end of the Tusker Premier League. And it is awarded in an order, from the winner getting, of course, the back of it, and it goes down right up to the last team.
Well, you're right, Bernard, and if Tusker wins this one, they would have made it 2 in a row. And if Gor Mahia lose this one, they will have lost 2 in a row. They lost the Kenya Power Charity Cup on the 2nd of February, and they are faced with the same task 20 days thereafter. So let's say if they have learned from their last loss here against Sofapaka at Kasarani.
Well, you can also look at it the other way and find out whether Tusker FC is prepared for any eventualities of this nature in any of the assignments they've got as well. And the responsibility of taking the first penalty has been given to Dan Serenkuma. He got an import on the Kenyan side, who has been denied by his compatriots from Uganda who are playing for the Tusker FC side, most notably Martin Kiza, who kept him off bay totally. But Dani Serenkuma will take the first penalty for Gor Mahia with the substitute goalkeeper with his moment of reckoning. Just a little bit of consultation by the second assistant referee Gilbert Cheriot with the center referee.
Well, I think it's a confirmation that the goalkeeper can move, but don't move in front before the ball is kicked.
You read it quite well, Jacob. So Dan Serenkuma versus George Opio. And Serenkuma plants it in the net, confidently so. I think he knew he had the power, and he also knew that the goalkeeper was not going to get there. But that's just the first one. There's 4 more to go. Oh, the goalkeeper stayed in his line, went in the correct direction, just not getting a hand onto that one.
When Luke Kochieng for Tusker.
A very confident defender will be taking on a very confident goalkeeper as well. Can Ivo Mapunda be the saviour, as was insinuated by his Zdravko Logarusic when he made that last-minute substitution of the goalkeeper Freddy Konyango? Well, let's just put it this way, that Mapunda is fresh and has not had to endure any of the action in the 90 minutes. But Luke Kochieng has got the experience as well, so Mapunda goes in the right direction, but again also Luke Kochieng plants it into the net. So it's even at 1-1 in the first penalties.
I can tell you it's a tense moment here. Mapunda going to the right direction, but Luke Kochieng had power behind that ball.
Oh, it's that power that actually puts it in the net. While the other officials are celebrating, Matano is just a little bit too tense. It's the standing captain, Moses Odhiambo, for Gor Mahia. Takes his time.
Well, he was second in the polls that Gor did for the captaincy, so he's the assistant captain, and Jeremy is not there, so he stands in as the captain.
Now he's got to lead the troops in this as well. Comes with experience as well. And it's Moses Odhiambo's turn against George Opio. And Odhiambo's penalty is saved. I think he took it just a little bit too casually and gave a lot of time to the goalkeeper to see where it was going. The Tusker fans have something to dance about now. It's still very early, but it's a good indication. Should the rest of the penalties be going in, then Tusker FC will take it. But Odhiambo just goes a little bit too casually. And then a lovely save, you would say, by Mr. George Opio, Jacob.
Well, a casual walk from Moses Odhiambo. He didn't have power behind the ball, but also George Opio doing well there for the Tusker side. Well, that is Cheche, better known as David Ochieng.
Well, David Ochieng to take the second penalty for...
No, that's not Ochieng. That is the new substitute, Aucho Khalid. Sorry, Bernard, for that.
No, that's all right. It's Aucho Khalid then. And Khalid puts it in the roof of the net. It's his first goal for Tusker FC. Well, here at the Nyayo National Stadium. And is obviously elated by it. Sends it higher up into the roof. Gives no chance to Ivo Mapunda to win it or to get it. Although Ivo is going in the right direction, he just pushes it a little bit too high and into the net.
Well, there was power behind the ball.
Khalid Aucho third penalties now. And Edwin Lavazza steps up for Gor Mahia. It's a best of 5 that we are going for in the SuperSport DSTV Cup. Tusker versus Gor Mahia. And that save, of course, gives the Tusker goalkeeper a little bit of an edge and a little bit of confidence as well. So Lavazza versus Giorgio Pio. Lavazza also with a casual walk, but then he pumps it into the net. It's just by the sheer power of it that it goes into the net. And that's Boniface Oloch, the other coach, the other goalkeeper rather, who was red carded, is watching it from the dressing side with a Tusker official just next to him as well. And he's imagining that he would have been in this situation at the moment. Zdravko Logarusic can barely dare to look.
Well, that is should be the new substitute for Tusker, Maurice Odipo.
Maurice Odipo, an old boy of the club as well, with lots of experience. Coming up against Ivo Mapunda in the third penalties. Odipo sends his penalty overboard. And Matano quite unhappy, while I would think that Logarusic would exhale a little bit. It levels things here. That's if Gor Mahia can put either their goal, then probably now they would take a little bit of a lead, but it levels things when it goes like that. 2 penalties for Gor Mahia, 2 penalties for Tusker. They've lost 1 each. Gor Mahia losing the second one, and Tusker losing the third one.
Well, Kevin Omondi for Gor Mahia, better known as Daddy.
Well, not quite the right time to be able to adjust your boot. But Kevin Omondi is also a veteran of sorts. And he's coming up against Giorgio Pio in the Tusker goal. Kevin well, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, puts in his goal, but that just gives a little edge to Gor Mahia. If then Mapunda can be able to do anything about it, but for as long as they continue to put the balls into the net, it's still gonna end up level. The 2 sides have all lost just 1 penalty. The onus falls heavily now on Ivo Mapunda.
Well, Robert Omonuk, he has had a brilliant game. Now it's where it counts most. Can he be able to score for Tusker?
Well, it would be interesting to see what he would do now on the penalty. We've already seen what he can do in dribbling, and a remarkable midfielder, come striker, this Ugandan Omonuk, and has done very well in this game so far. How good is he in the penalties? Well, it's coming up against Ivo Mapunda. Omonuk. Well, he's topped, and then he hits it straight to Mapunda. And Mapunda then displays exactly why the coach Logarusic wanted him into this game at this point. And Robert Matano looking unmoved. The onus was on Omonuk. Well, he didn't make Mapunda really work for it at all, Jacob, did he?
Well, I think Mapunda shows his experience in goal here. Omonuk tried to dummy him, but Mapunda stayed on his feet, looked at the ball, and he has a reason why Logarusic has so much faith in him as far as penalties are concerned for Gor Mahia.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Israel Amuge scores his penalty, there'll be absolutely no need to play the last penalty for the Tusker FC side. And then it is saved by Opio. So this again levels it. And it's Tusker FC who need to bring themselves back into the game here. If they lose the penalty, then Gor Mahia will have won it. But if they put it in, then we'll again go into sudden death penalties.
Or if Mapunda saves it, then it is for Gor Mahia.
Well, that's what I said. If Tusker loses it, then Gor will win it. But if Mapunda doesn't save it, it will be nerve-wracking penalties again.
Wow.
And the man who's going out there is Jesse Were. Now Were also with a big task to salvage Tusker FC in this. Ivan Mapunda with an equally big task. This one easily slotted in by Jesse Were. So we will still go for sudden death penalties, Jacob.
Yeah, that is it. Whoever loses and whoever scores, it's all over. So if Gor Mahia can score this one, and I think the player taking it will be Donald Musoti, and Tusker lose the next one, then it's all for Gor Mahia. But Jesse Were is sending Mapunda the wrong way.
And with a message as well, saying it's not over. It's not over, don't celebrate. All right, so we are going for sudden death penalties here. Donald Musoti of Gor Mahia will be taking it. And Giorgio Pio has given a very good account of himself in this one at the Nyayo National Stadium. Musoti versus Giorgio Pio. Musoti puts it away from the goalkeeper. Logan Rusic with the body language just saying, can this just end? But I think he would like it to end positively. It was very nicely slotted in by the defender Matano in some anxious moments as well, because Tusker need to put it in as well to continue with it. Oh, Mapunda making a big meal of his towel as well. I think just trying to get some psychological edge in this game over Shikokoti.
Well, you normally call him the tallest player in East and Central Africa, Bernard.
He is the tallest player. He's made some tall contributions to Tusker FC as well. But this is also one of the most difficult moments. Shikokoti versus Ivo Mapunda in sudden death penalties. And Shikokoti plants it into the roof of the net. So this will go on.
Well, the captain of the side, Shikokoti, comes there, a tall player, and good confidence. Mapunda going to the right side, but Shikokoti picking the roof of the net here.
Well, Solomon Nasio then who will be going next, but Shikokoti, well, happy about himself, and of course he makes the Tusker fans very happy as well. Solomon Nasio now for the Gor Mahia side. It couldn't get more nerve-wracking as it is now. And an easy placing for Solomon Nasio. It's the only time that the Gor Mahia fans can actually put their voices into it, because if they lose it, there would be something totally different.
What a finish by Nasio, very calm. And Tusker will be having the penalty that might decide the fate of this game here. And
well, as long as they put it in, the game would still go on.
That should be Martin Kiza, the stopper on the Tusker side, the other Ugandan import.
Well, he did a very good job for that side. The chairman of Gor Mahia is equally caught in the anxiety, but Kiza had a very good game indeed. Whether or not his prowess in penalties is equal to that game that he had can only be decided when he takes it. And it's Ivo Mapunda and Martin Kiza. Well, oozing confidence. And Mapunda saves it! Gor Mahia will take it on sudden death penalties, with Kiza losing the penalty. Well, he went so casually as well, but he looked like he was oozing confidence. And I think that Logarusic shows that he knows the strength of his players as well. And will be applauded for just having made that substitution. But he didn't win the game in 90 minutes. He goes to congratulate the other coach on the other side. But surely, you couldn't have a more nerve-wracking game like this one in the penalty shootout, Jacob.
Well, you're right, Bernard. It's been not the easiest of penalties here, but Ivo Mapunda proving that he's a really penalty specialist. He came against the game of Sofapaka last year in the FKF Cup and made saves that made Gor Mahia be declared champions. Today again, he does it for Gor Mahia, and actually he's the star for this game.
Well then, Ivo Mapunda salvages this one for the Gor Mahia side. He's carried shoulder high. I'm not exactly sure if those men should be on the field of play, but they are celebrating their moment and well, carrying their hero high up. Gor Mahia feeling like they finally are getting what they wanted, but they just wanted the trophy. But Ivo Mapunda going in the right direction. Kiza not putting too much energy into that, and I think with a penalty, Jacob, it just depends on where the goalkeeper is going. If you don't put enough energy and the goalkeeper goes the other direction, it still ends up in the net, doesn't it?
Well, you're right, Bernard, but I would really say Kiza picked his spot, had the power, but Mapunda's reaction was very good in that last penalty for sure.
Well then, this is what they will be going home with and putting in their cabinet, the Gor Mahia side. And any moment now, it will be time for them to be getting it from the organizers. But it's been a very difficult game right at the beginning and into the penalties. James can attest to that as well. I think he's got the coaches on the side. I think it's time to hear what they exactly have to say about this game. James. He will tell us in just one while from the Nyayo National Stadium at full-time 0-0 on post-match penalties, 5-4 for Gor Mahia. James has got the coaches on the touchline.
Oh well, that's the way it ends here at the Nyayo National Stadium for the second match in a row. That man, Ivo Mapunda, making the difference. Kogalo win the Super Cup. 5-4 on post-match penalties. Couldn't have been closer, but I'm joined by the losing coach, Robert Matano. Now, coach, tell me about the game. How was it?
It was nice. It was nice, very nice. I'm happy about the results because, you know, from first minute, goalkeeper messed up and he missed completely our plans. So, but my players, they played so well.
Coach, what do you think happened there with Boniface Oluoch? I mean, that's such a mistake so early on in the game.
I don't understand the way he behaved. I don't understand. I cannot tell anything. He's an experienced player who should know the rules of the game. When the ball is outside the box, you should clear. It was no pressure at all.
Do you think he cost you the game in essence? Do you think he cost you with victory today?
He did the same last year. He did the same today. I'm not happy and I'm not going to trade slightly.
So what happens? Do you swap him around with Samuel or George, or what do you do? What kind of action do you take against him?
I know which action I'm going to take him. I cannot twice one person. Why?
But coach, on the whole, your team played with 10 men. For most of the game, they did really well to get all the way to penalties, created very good chances. What do you think of the performance despite being not 10 men?
Performed so well, and I'm happy with the performance. 10 people with this kind of the high-tempo game, I'm happy. And in fact, my plans after red card, it was ploy, but I was winning this match.
What do you think this game tells you about how ready you are as far as the season is concerned, coach?
Very ready, much ready, even you saw it. With the 10 people we can contain the team and we played football, I'm very ready, very much ready.
And of course, you saw some of your new players. Jeremy Bright looked very good. Robert Omunuk was named man of the match. So your new signings are settling in well, coach.
That's why they're there. That's why they're there. These are top team and champion club. We must have quality players to play in this team.
All right, thank you very much, coach. And for your efforts today, we do give you a walker so that you're able to catch up with the games, even if you're not there, able to watch something else as far as KPL is concerning. And congratulations and good luck for the rest of the season. Oh, well, there you've heard it there from Robert Matano. He knows who's at fault. There's not guesses as to who it is. It's most definitely that man there, Boniface Oluoch. What will he do to him? He says it's up to him to find out. Well, I'm joined by a man who will certainly be a bit more happier after what happened last weekend, a few weeks ago in the Kenya Charity Cup. Coach Logarusic, congratulations. How was the game?
It's an interesting game, but we are slightly becoming to come in the form, and we produced today a good game. But I think today Kenya show for the moment two best teams in Kenya, and the football was great. I really enjoyed, and if Tusker will win, I think also they will deserve, because they gave us hard time, and they played brave football with 10 players. We had our chances. We didn't score on the right time, but those things will come with the time. Now the season is starting. We are starting to work with the balls, and still you can see no any of our strikers. Doesn't matter they play for national team or they couldn't still have a touch.
Well, coach, does it worry you that goals are not coming by as easy as probably you'd want it to be happening, because you really have not yet to start scoring with regularity like last season?
But you know what? The bird, which will start to sing very early, maybe will not sing late afternoon. And we have our top guns on the front. Look at that today. Lavazza, Kiongera, maybe future national strikers, they were on the top. Kevin was with them last 30 minutes. Behind them was who was on the front? Serenkuma. He plays for national team for Uganda. And after we have, all top guns they were in except Rama. And still we are not scoring, but we are tight and the time will come. I'm not worrying because chances are coming, and now we are picking up the game a bit. And step by step, the season is a long season.
Tell me about the substitution. You had Rama warming up, you had Ivan Mapunda warming up. How did you decide, let me put Mapunda, let me put him up? How did you make up that final decision?
Coaching job is funny job, and you couldn't learn it from the books. The books are saying during one minute, 30 different informations are coming in coach's head. And then you have to throw out some information you don't need even to think about, and keep the information you want to. Today I picked up right things.
Well, coach, next weekend you play Answer Union in Seychelles. How does this game help you prepare for that one?
The game satisfied me. Chances we've created satisfied me. We had some mistakes on the back, but I can promise you, we're going to represent properly Kenyan football, and one game here doesn't mean nothing. We will show to Kenya we are going second round together with Tusker, and then we will not give up.
Well, coach, thank you very much, and for your efforts today, we give you a walker so that you're able to catch up with what's happening in terms of sport on the go. And once again, congratulations. You've won your first trophy of the season. Oh, well, there you have it there from Logarusic. He says, you know what, I'm probably not too happy, but I'll take it. We are developing, we are getting there. I'm now joined by the man who's been picked as man of the match. It's his first competitive match in Kenya. He's from Uganda, Robert Omunuk. Robert, congratulations.
Thank you.
How was the game today?
The game has been wonderful. Just had to enjoy the game. Yeah.
Tell me, how have you settled in Kenya? I know you came in over in December. How has the settling in been here compared to the fact that where you are playing in Uganda and how in Kenya?
Actually, I must say that Kenyans are so friendly. So everyone is welcomed in the family. Yeah, I thank them for that.
So now let's talk about the game today. Tusker reduced to 10 men from the second minute. How did you guys manage to stay competitive all the way to the 90th minute?
Well, always we are given courage by the coach to work as a team. So we have to fall back as a team and work as a team as well.
And even though you missed a penalty there, how do you guys get away from this and continue?
Actually, I can't say anything there.
Okay. All right. Well, for your efforts, you get yourself a walker. Congratulations and good luck in the season. Okay, all right. That's Robert Omunuk there. He says, you know what, I really can't speak about missing a penalty, but it's okay. It's been a nice introduction. I'm now joined by the man who Bernard says is the tallest man in East Africa, probably who plays football, Shiko Koti. How was the game today?
The game was tough. It was 50-50 because we were raiding and they were raiding. So I can say it was balanced. Yeah.
Tell me, how much did the losing Boniface Oluoch so early to a red card, how much did it affect your team plan?
Yeah, it affected a little bit because the coach had to make an early substitute and we changed our system of play. But all in all, we fought until the last minute. Yeah.
And tell me about you taking a penalty. I can't remember you taking a penalty ever. How much nerves was there?
Yeah, I was taking penalties before in the early years, but now it was the team. It was over, so that I had to take a penalty as a captain.
Oh well, Shiko, congratulations and good luck in the season. Well, there he says, you know what, I just had to step up. It's all about leadership. It's all about you deciding, I've got to go on and do this. I'm joined by a man who did so well during the game, then in the last minute substituted. Gor Mahia captain, Jerem. Jerem, congratulations, you've won yourself the Super Cup. How does it feel?
I think it's great. After we started the season, I can't say it was bad, but us losing the Charity Cup against Sofapaka, we knew this is the only cup that we were supposed to rejuvenate ourselves with, and I'm so much glad. I'm happy with my teammates, the work rate, the fans, the technical bench. I'm happy. I don't know how to explain it.
You made a fantastic save off Jesse Wera, Sam, there with his head up. How crucial was it? How much of a self-confidence was that to you today?
Okay, I always believe in myself, and wherever I'm given a chance, that's what I'm supposed to do. Saving that ball made the entire team come back into the game, knowing that we still can make it. If Jerry can do it in the goal, why not us? And that's what we've shown.
And then at the end of the day, Ivan Mapunda comes on.
Yeah, it's good because he's good in penalties, and I'm very much happy for him, and thanks to him for the 2 penalty saves that he has made.
Congratulations, Jerry. I'm going to let you go out there and celebrate. That's Jerry Monyango there. He says, you know what? Everyone did what he had to do. That's the way it ends here. It's 5-4. Kogalo once again prevailing. Trumps on penalties. It's all about one man, Ivan Mapunda. We are now going to cross over and join our commentators. Take us through the presentation. Kogalo are the winners. 5-4 against Tusker on SuperSport DSTV Super Cup.
Well, thank you very much, James. It's a moment of happiness for the Green Army, that is Gor Mahia's fan club on the other side. They have something to celebrate about, and that's because Gor Mahia lost 2 penalties in the Charity Cup, and it wasn't going down very nicely with the fans. And then again today, ending at 0-0 at full time, and then ending level at the penalties, at the 5 penalties, and then at the extra penalties, that's the sudden death, that's where it got one altogether. It's something to celebrate from the Gor Mahia. Now this is the one that Ivan Mapunda totally brought back into play. Didn't even parry it out of the field of play. He latched onto it and brought it back into play. Of course, there'll be no chance of a rebound. It was a penalty shootout. And that sudden death shootout is what Mapunda was brought in for. And he has proved his mettle in this. So Gor Mahia, a happy lot here today. And the players, of course, will be picking up medals for the side, Jacob, arguably for a good job. I think we start with the officials, yeah? I think Sylvester Kira did a very good job here, didn't he, Jacob?
Well, he took control of the game. There were no controversies. There were no decisions that were disputed. And that is Commissioner of Sport, the President of Sofapaka, Eli Kalekwe, then the General Manager of SuperSport East Africa, Gaucho, and the President of the Federation, Sam Nyamoya.
So the officials getting their walkers from the General Manager of DSTV Mobile and Go TV, Felix Chengo. And now they can also catch up with the action wherever they are on DSTV Mobile or on their Go TV mobiles. It's flanked by the Commissioner for Sports, Gordon Oloch. And Gordon Oloch will, of course, give the runners-up their medals, and also will give them the check as well. And the tallest player in Eastern Central Africa, Shiko Koti, is the one who comes up as the captain of his side as well to lead his troops into that one. Jesse Were knows that he could have buried this game much earlier on, although he did not. And that is why they have to settle for the runners-up position. So the Commissioner for Sport, Gordon Oloch, handing over the medals, like Jacob said, flanked by the General Manager of DSTV Mobile and Go TV, that's Felix Chengo, and also the Chairman of Sofapaka, Eli Kalekwe, and the General Manager of SuperSport Kenya, that's Auka Gicheo, and then there is the Chairman of Football Kenya Federation, Sam Nyamwea, up on the podium as well. Now, these are the other guys who weren't on the team sheet today, but this man conspicuously in the necklace is Boniface Oloch, having been red carded as a goalkeeper. He had to stay out in the dressing room, and I think he comes to pick his medal as well. Never mind the fact that his coach has said very nicely something not very nice is waiting for him when they get back to the clubhouse, I presume. But there's usually enough medals for the entire troop and the officials of the club as well. And a team, of course, has more than 30 players, and they obviously would like to own the team as well when the team is in its winning streak as well. So The glittering trophy is what awaits the ultimate winner. But there is a check that goes with being the runner-up in this one, and it's for 500,000 Kenya shillings, 500,000 Kenya shillings. This will be given to the captain of the side. It will be given by Gordon Oloch, the Commissioner for Sports. Jacob, you obviously know these other players as well who are on the side.
Well, most of those players as the new signing for the Tusker FC, and the assistant coach there in that yellow cape, George Minor, a former striker for Tusker and also for the national team Harambee Stars, Dr. Wycliffe Makanga, and then the team manager for the Tusker side, Mr. Waliaula there, and of course the coach Robert Matano, and the Tusker director there, Mr. Obenyi.
Well, on the check there, Jacob, 500,000 Kenya shillings to Tusker FC. In this moment, when you would be being given this one, Jacob, what would be your feeling? Do you feel rich? Do you feel it's gonna, change something in the club? What do you feel when a coach is receiving this check?
Well, definitely 500,000 is a lot of money at the beginning of the season, and for 90-minute play, then it is worth all the effort here. So the director for Tusker there, Mr. Obenyi, holding that check.
Not holding, but going away with it.
Oh, he went away with it.
He did go away with it. Then the moment that the Gor Mahia side have been waiting for is the medals will be given to Gor Mahia, the winning side here. Now, they often say that it doesn't matter how you won it all the same. And I think Gor Mahia will be feeling quite happy that they will be picking up the winner's medal for the traditional curtain raiser SuperSport DSTV Cup here at the Nyayo National Stadium. Ivan Mapunda, ultimately the hero of the side. I do think that the fans will even want to stand at attention and probably give them the Gor Mahia, fan salute. We haven't had it so far today, but I think we might just hear it at some point. And the general manager of, SuperSport Kenya, Auka Gicheo, is the one who's giving it out to the players. Well, it's almost on cue. You're hearing some song coming from the Gor Mahia side. And I think it will be the Gor Mahia anthem that will be ranting the air here at the Nyayo National Stadium. A good number of players who are always on the sidelines as well, receiving their medals. Masoti and Edwin Lavatsa close to each other. Now you see just exactly how diminutive Terum Kuma is when he's, just walking along other people who are slightly taller. You notice the big difference. Sam Nyamuya is the last person in that queue there. And the chairman of Gor Mahia, and ultimately the Secretary General as well, is right at the back there with John Bobby Ogola, himself a former Gor Mahia great and a former Harambee Stars Kenya national team stopper, also lining up for his medal. It's a proud moment when this happens to you, Jacob, isn't it?
Well, when you win a trophy at the beginning of the season, and I kind of say it is a sweet revenge for Gor Mahia, because Tusker beat them 4-1 last season, courtesy of the same penalties here, and Gor Mahia now going one better. So in terms of the SuperSport DSTV Cup, Gor Mahia now has won it twice.
Oh, and then characteristic of Mr. Logan Rusic, he gives his medal to one of Gor Mahia's most loyal fans. Actually, he calls himself the commander of the Green Army, complete with a radio and complete with his paraphernalia for whichever war he fights on the side stands. And here is a check for 750,000 Kenya shillings, winning team, from the general manager of SuperSport Kenya to the chairman of Gor Mahia. 750,000 Kenya shillings, Jacob. Not bad for the start of the season. Yeah, what a way to start the season, and this is a big boost for Gor Mahia, who will be traveling to Reunion, to Seychelles to face Anse Reunion in the second leg of the CAF Confederations return match. Well, they haven't gotten enough of it all, and they're coming back onto the field as the chairman is holding up the check for winning. They still won the trophy. Now an extra name has been added onto it as well. Behind it is the names of all the winners in all the years, and we are in the 5th edition of it. But it's the SuperSport DSTV Super Cup, and your winner in 2013 is Gor Mahia, with the captain Jerry Onyango on the pitch. It's the one time that you see two goalkeepers celebrating having played in the same match and having helped themselves to win. One playing in the 90 minutes, the other one playing in the penalty shootout, and helping each other in teamwork to take the trophy. Look, Longa Rusic, of course, feeling a little bit of a special one at this moment, Jacob. The father is relaying the message to whoever he talks to on his walkie-talkie.
Well, I think this is a very big accolade for Longa Rusic as he starts the season and is facing the second game against Ansere Union. I think this gives Gor Mahia a lot of confidence in the return leg, and that is Bobby Ogola, one of the Gor Mahia greats and also Kenya former international as the assistant coach for Gor Mahia.
Well, the trophy is being acknowledged by the fans here at the stadium. And the moment of glory is just being internalized by the fans here. You know, it's very amazing sometimes how the fans internalize losses. They go very, very silent. But Rama Salim has got a totally different way that he wants to appreciate this trophy. But Jaro Soldier wants a part of it as well, as the commander of the Green Army. He's representing them here on the field. But then this is Rama Salim and Ivan Anguyo just close by. They would want to present it at least to the fans on the other side of the stadium, because they're asking for it. They're saying, bring it to our side here. And from the Nyayo National Stadium, well, the celebration will culminate into some song and dance, but we've got more action coming to you tomorrow. KCB versus City Stars at 2 o'clock East African time, and Sofapaka versus Thika United at the City Stadium at 4 o'clock on your World of Champions. Thank you very much for having kept us company. We'll see you tomorrow. You make a date with us on your World of Champions.